would like to have, what we would enjoy having. But oftentimes, this is exactly our problem because we disregard our problems and troubles. We disregard or we keep in low regard the things we don't enjoy having, the things we don't like, the things that bring us negative feelings. That's why we put in such low regard the anxiety, depression, the traumas, and the problems we face with daily. But there is a danger to it. Right, we don't like them. We would prefer not to have them for obvious reasons. But imagine a world where everything is safe, easy, and provided. There's no problems, no pain, no responsibility. And this starts to sound more utopian, right? It becomes hard to imagine this world. When you imagine that you have everything already, all things are done for you, um, you start to understand, well, then there's nothing much for you to do. And all these problems that you had, though were troublesome and problematic, well, at least they gave you a task at hand to address and pay attention to. And, well, sometimes people think that good life means no struggle. But without struggle, there is no strength, no growth, and no meaning. And let me picture you an image of Anti-Utopia of Infants. So, Anti-Utopia of Infants is a false um, and actually unsafe world for people, which is an utopian prison. Um, and it seems to be good because everything there is good and easy and provided. But it is a prison and it is unsafe for people because nothing necessitates people to grow and develop, nor do they have an opportunity for that. There are no problems to solve, no conflicts to resolve, and no responsibilities to take. So these people remain children as they live their comfortable lives, safe lives, where no problems exist because everything is thought through by others. A convenient life with no, a life in which things you don't want and like having just don't exist. They are not there. You don't need them. This is a life of comfort. A life which you would want to have, right? And so some people want it, and so they remain children. And Anti-Utopia of Infants is a controlled world in which people lose their autonomy and self-sufficiency and therefore their maturity. Why? Because they don't have to govern themselves anymore. They don't have to be in control over their life. They don't have to resolve the troubles and the problems. Things thought through already. Things are easier. They're not complex anymore. They're not hard anymore. You don't have to do the hard things you don't want to do. Someone else can do it instead of you. Someone else can think about it instead of you. You don't have to think about it. You don't have to deal with it. You don't have to know it. You don't have to ask questions. You don't have to write, don't have to speak if you don't want to. You don't have to think even if you don't want to, and you would still live and survive, and everything seems good and perfect, except that it isn't, because then you lose your agency as you lose your autonomy, which is exactly a self determination, an ability to govern yourself. And so that people living this life remain harmless and naive kids till their old ages, giving up the control over their lives and losing their autonomy and freedom. For what? For comfort and security and desires. Because they have liked so much the things they that are easy, that they would just want to have, just like to have, just enjoy having, that they have completely disregarded the things that they don't um, like having. And so they don't want to face them anymore. They don't want to understand and make sense of them anymore. It is that therapy session in which every hard situation you went through is your trauma, which you just need to accept. Or name and label as traumatic experience. And there it is. Confirm the victimhood of your situation. Just maybe rather blame others for everything. Confirm that, right, things just happened. Instead of realizing the potential for it being something positive in your life, for it being transformational, for it not just remaining some negative experience, but being a fuel for positive things in your life, for more understanding, more competence, higher capacity. So those kind of people are the people who don't know, they haven't learned the things kids haven't learned, and it's that chaos is a ladder, that problems are the opportunities you can have and climb. And so in this utopia, everything what is easy and provided for you removes your need to develop, removes your need to face the hardship and develop the capacity to meet it, to endure it, to resist it, to use it in your advantage. In this anti utopian world, comfort kills the growth, and control destroys autonomy. Because when other people make every decision for you, you forget how to choose. You become incapable of making it yourself. Because the algorithm can do it instead of you. So you don't have to think about anything anymore. All the small decisions you had, and now, no more. Everything can be done instead of you. And finally, safety replaces responsibility. Because there is no danger, you never learn courage. There is no storm, you never be able to become a skilled sailor. You wouldn't even know what it means and what it requires for you to become it. Because a kid or a child who is protected from every fall never learns balance. And this is an anti-utopia.